There is a moment in the night when the world forgets you, but Allah remembers you. Between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., when no one is calling your name, when your room is dark, when your heart feels strangely awake, a door opens in the unseen. Most people ignore it. Most people roll over and return to sleep. But Ibn Arabi said that when Allah wakes a servant at this hour, He is not interrupting their rest. He is summoning their soul. Why does your heart beat differently at this time? Why do you rise without planning to? Why does something inside you feel called, pulled, awakened? Tonight, you are going to discover the truth. It is not your body waking you. It is Allah inviting you. And once you understand why He wakes you at this sacred hour, you will never see those early awakenings the same again. When you wake between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., it is not your body responding, it is your soul rising before you. Ibn Arabi taught that the soul hears Allah's call long before the mind understands it. That sudden awakening, that quiet pull, that unexplained alertness, it is your soul recognizing a moment chosen for you, a moment where the unseen world reaches toward your heart. Ibn Arabi taught that not every hour feels the same. Between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., the veil between worlds thins and your heart becomes clearer than during the noise of the day. The world sleeps, distractions fade, and your soul is finally quiet enough to receive guidance. This is the moment when clarity descends, when your heart can hear what it ignored in the light. Ibn Arabi said, Allah chooses special moments to draw His servant closer, moments not given to everyone. Waking at 3 a.m. is one of them. If you rise without planning to, if your eyes open with a quiet pull, it is a sign of divine attention. Allah is selecting you in a time when the world sleeps, inviting your heart into a closeness reserved for the chosen. Ibn Arabi taught that every awakening carries a message, and every message points you back to something your heart once knew but slowly drifted from. When Allah wakes you between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., it is not simply a disruption of sleep, it is a reminder, a gentle, divine interruption meant to pull your soul toward what it once promised but forgot. Sleep is a small death, Ibn Arabi wrote, and waking is a small resurrection. And just as every resurrection carries meaning, so does this sudden rise in the quietest hour of the night. Allah may be reminding you of a dua you abandoned, a path you stopped walking, a truth you refused to face, or a part of yourself you buried under routine and noise. This hour exposes what the day hides. The world's distractions fall silent. Your excuses fade. Your heart becomes transparent. It is in these moments that forgotten intentions return to the surface. A longing you pushed aside, a repentance you delayed, a dream you once prayed for, a version of yourself that still waits to be reclaimed. Ibn Arabi said the heart is closest to its true nature when the world sleeps. So when Allah wakes you, He is not just calling you to pray, He is inviting you to remember, to return, to realign your life with the truth you once recognized but let slip away. This awakening is not random. It is a personal reminder from the one who never forgets you, even when you forget yourself. Ibn Arabi wrote that the most powerful du'as are born in the moments you did not plan, in the hours when your heart is too tired to pretend and too sincere to hide. When Allah wakes you between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., you are not waking for routine. You are waking because a door has opened. A door of istijaba, the hour in which du'as are accepted with a weight they do not carry at any other time. At this hour, the world is silent. Your mind is soft, your heart is exposed, and sincerity rises naturally, without force, without performance. This is why the du'as you make then feel different. They feel raw, honest, unfiltered. There is no audience, no expectation, no ego, only you and the one who already knows what you cannot say aloud. Ibn Arabi taught that when Allah chooses this moment for you, it is because He wants to hear from you, not the polished words you use in daylight, but the truth buried beneath your fears and hopes. Even the smallest whisper becomes powerful at this hour. Even a single tear becomes a testimony. Your dua climbs faster, carried by the purity of the moment. Your repentance is received more gently. Your gratitude is recorded more deeply. Ibn Arabi said that a servant's destiny can shift in the stillness before dawn, not through effort, but through alignment, that moment when the heart finally matches the truth it has been running from. So, when Allah wakes you at this time, understand this: your dua is not just being heard, it is being invited. And what is invited by Allah is never ignored. Ibn Arabi taught that nothing in your life happens without purpose. Not your joy, not your trials, not your delays, and certainly not the moment Allah wakes you in the silence before dawn. When you rise between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., your waking is not random. It is an act of divine care woven into the unseen fabric of your destiny. You may think you woke because of a noise, a dream, a disturbance, or your own restlessness. But Ibn Arabi said the human being misunderstands most of what touches the heart. What you call coincidence is often protection. What you call disturbance is often guidance. And what you call inconvenience is often mercy arriving disguised. Allah wakes you because He knows what you need before you know how to ask for it. Maybe He wakes you because a sadness has been growing inside you, too quietly for others to see, but not too quietly for Him. Maybe He wakes you because a decision is approaching, one that will shape your path, and your heart is not yet steady enough to choose correctly. Maybe He wakes you because harm was written near you, and prayer in that hour erases what was never meant to touch you. Or maybe He wakes you because He wants to give you something you forgot to ask for. Ibn Arabi explained that Allah sometimes prepares the heart for future blessings long before those blessings appear. The awakening itself is a sign that something is being arranged, shifted, protected, softened, or elevated inside you. This hour holds a subtle wisdom. In daylight, you speak from your mind. Before dawn, you speak from your soul. And Allah wants your soul to speak. He wants you to rise when the world is still and place your burdens where they belong. Not on your chest, not on your mind, not on people who cannot carry them, but at His feet. When Allah wakes you at 3 a.m., He is telling you, I have something for you, come and receive it. It may be peace. It may be clarity. It may be protection. It may be forgiveness. It may be strength for a trial you haven't met yet. It may be a healing that has already begun within you, but needs your surrender to complete. Ibn Arabi said that the greatest gifts from Allah are not delivered to the hands, they are delivered to the heart. And the heart is most open, most honest, and most vulnerable during these sacred hours. This is why you may wake with a heaviness you cannot explain, or a calmness that feels unfamiliar, or a sudden urge to pray, cry, breathe, or simply exist in silence. Your awakening is the beginning of a conversation Allah has chosen for you. A conversation meant to reshape you internally long before anything changes externally. Ibn Arabi described this hour as the moment when destinies shift from the unseen to the seen, when the heart aligns with its purpose, when the servant becomes receptive to secrets normally hidden by daylight. So if Allah wakes you, even once, even briefly, even without clarity, know that something in your life is being repaired, prepared, or redirected by the one who loves you more than you understand. This is not just an awakening, it is a divine intervention. Ibn Arabi often wrote that the heart has its own seasons, just as the earth has spring and winter. Daylight is the season of action, movement, and responsibility. But the hour before dawn between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. is the heart's spring. It is during this sacred window that the soul becomes most receptive, most humble, and most ready to be purified. During the day, your heart absorbs noise, distraction, stress, comparison, disappointments, and hidden wounds you pretend not to carry. But before dawn, Allah removes those layers. He strips the heart of its heaviness and returns it to a state closer to its original purity. Ibn Arabi said, "The heart is never more truthful than in the moment Allah awakens it. This hour empties you, but it empties you so that Allah can fill you. When you rise at this time, you may notice something. Your emotions feel clearer. Your sins feel heavier. Your regrets feel louder. Your yearning feels purer. And your connection to Allah feels more real than it does at any other moment. Why? Because this is the hour when Allah purifies you from the inside. You often think purification means tears, hardship, or a major test. But sometimes purification is quiet. It happens when you sit in the darkness, breathing slowly, feeling your heart open in ways it doesn't during the rush of the day. Ibn Arabi taught that purification is not only the removal of sin, it is the removal of everything that distances you from your truth. And the truth is this: your heart was created to know Him, to love Him, to return to Him with softness. But life hardens you. People disappoint you. Duties overwhelm you. The world distracts you. So Allah wakes you when the world is asleep, so He can soften what the world has hardened. He wakes you so he can wash away the dust your heart collected from the day before, dust made of anxiety, disappointment, and self-doubt. At this hour, even a single whispered astaghfirullah is more powerful than 1,000 spoken during the day. Even one moment of sincerity can polish your heart like a mirror. Even one breath of gratitude can shift your entire destiny. Ibn Arabi said that the purification of the heart is what prepares a person to receive divine gifts. So when Allah wakes you, He is grooming you for something greater than you know: guidance, elevation, peace, clarity, or blessings you haven't reached yet. And purification is always the first step before a blessing arrives. That sudden early awakening, that urge to pray or sit in silence, is Allah bringing you closer to Him, not through force, but through gentleness, not through shaking your life, but by touching your heart. This is the moment your true self appears. The self that is honest, the self that longs for Allah, the self that remembers why it was created. So if Allah wakes you at this hour, understand this: your heart is being cleaned, prepared, softened, and awakened. You are being shaped into someone who can carry the blessings, wisdom, and destiny written for you. This is not just purification. It is rebirth before Fajr. Ibn Arabi taught that loneliness is not an emptiness. It is a doorway, a space Allah creates inside you so something new can enter. And nowhere is this more visible than when He wakes you between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. A time when the world is silent, the streets are dark, and every soul around you is sleeping. You rise alone. But this loneliness is not a punishment. It is an appointment. During the day, you are surrounded by people, noise, distractions, responsibilities. Your heart rarely breathes. Even when you are physically alone, your mind is crowded with thoughts, expectations, fears, and obligations. But at 3 a.m., Allah empties the world around you. He takes away the noise. He removes the distractions. He erases the voices that pull you away from Him. In that silence, only you and Him remain. Ibn Arabi wrote that the solitude before dawn is the purest form of companionship, because it is the moment your soul becomes aware of the one who never leaves. This loneliness is not isolation, it is proximity. Allah is bringing you closer by removing everyone else from the room of your heart. And look at how the heart behaves at this hour. Your worries feel more honest. Your regrets feel sharper. Your longing feels deeper. Your prayers emerge unfiltered, without pride or performance. You speak not from your mind, but from the deepest part of your soul. This is why many people cry at this hour without knowing why. Why they feel a heaviness they cannot name. Why they feel both fragile and safe at the same time. It is because Allah is drawing you into the intimacy of solitude. Ibn Arabi said that Allah sometimes hides you from people so He can reveal Himself to you more clearly. At this hour, He removes everything that competes for your heart: distractions, ambitions, attachments, even relationships, so you can finally hear the voice you were meant to hear all along. When Allah wakes you early, He is saying, "Come to me. I want to speak to you without interruption." He is calling you into a conversation that only your soul can understand. A conversation about your healing, your purpose, your wounds, your destiny, your return to Him. And here lies the secret Ibn Arabi emphasized. Loneliness is not the absence of people, it is the presence of Allah made clearer than ever. When your heart feels alone, it becomes tender. When it becomes tender, it becomes honest. And when it becomes honest, it becomes ready. Ready for healing, ready for change, ready for guidance, ready for transformation. This is why some of the greatest spiritual openings happen before dawn. Why destinies shift. Why tears fall with meaning. Why clarity appears suddenly, as if dropped into your heart from the unseen world. Allah does not wake you to leave you alone. He wakes you to fill your loneliness with Him. And once your heart tastes that connection, you will realize something profound. The loneliest moment of your life was actually the moment you were the closest to Him. This is not loneliness. It is divine companionship. Ibn Arabi taught that the unseen world is not distant from us. It is woven into every breath, every moment, every shift in the heart. Most people live unaware of how close the unseen is, how many times Allah protects them without their knowledge, how many dangers pass them by quietly, how many blessings are positioned long before they arrive. And sometimes the clearest sign of this hidden care is simple. Allah wakes you between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. You may think you woke because of a dream or discomfort or randomness. But Ibn Arabi wrote that the servant rarely recognizes the reasons behind divine movements. What feels ordinary to you may be extraordinary in the unseen realm. This early awakening can be a shield, a protection from harm, a barrier against a mistake, a redirection from a path that would wound you, a spiritual intervention preventing what you cannot see coming. In the language of the unseen, waking up is not just rising, it is being rescued. You don't know what was written for the next day, what danger was approaching, what temptation was brewing, what loss was written then erased, what heartbreak was meant to touch your heart but was diverted by your prostration. Ibn Arabi said, "The knower sees that protection from Allah comes disguised as inconvenience." The sudden awakening that frustrates you may be the exact moment Allah saves you. A minute earlier, a minute later, and something unseen could have unfolded differently. Allah wakes you at the precise moment your destiny needs adjustment. Sometimes He wakes you to lead you into dua that cancels harm. Sometimes He wakes you to soften your heart before an upcoming test. Sometimes He wakes you so you begin the day with a purity that repels what was never meant for you. Protection is not always loud. Often it is silent, soft, hidden, like an awakening before dawn. Many people feel a strange heaviness or anxiety when they wake at this hour, not because something bad is happening, but because their soul is sensing a shift in the unseen. Allah is preparing the heart for something it is not yet ready to see. The Prophet ﷺ said that during the last third of the night, Allah descends to the lowest heaven, calling out, "Who is seeking my protection, so I may protect him?" Ibn Arabi explained that protection is not always from external threats. Sometimes it is protection from your own desires, your own impulses, your own nafs, leading you into choices that would hurt you later. At 3 a.m., your heart is the most honest with itself. Your intentions are clearer. Your weaknesses are more visible. Your sincerity is unmasked. Allah wakes you so your prayer can correct what your ego would ignore in daylight. He may protect you from a person who is not meant for your life, from a plan that would have collapsed, from a sin you would have fallen into, from a loss that would have broken you beyond repair, from a path that looks beautiful now but leads to destruction later. Ibn Arabi wrote that Allah sometimes writes dangers in destiny only to erase them when the servant turns to Him at a sacred hour. Your waking may be that erasure happening in real time. There are stories, quiet ones, unrecorded, unseen, of people who felt an urgent pull to wake and pray, unaware that this prayer altered the course of their life. A missed accident, a delayed calamity, a heart saved from betrayal, a blessing redirected toward them while harm was redirected away. You will never know how many things Allah shields you from simply by waking you in the last part of the night. Sometimes He wakes you because He is about to change your path. Sometimes because He wants you to rise before He rewrites a chapter of your life. Sometimes because He wants to prepare your heart for a blessing that requires purification first. The unseen world moves while you sleep. But when Allah wakes you at 3 a.m., He is inviting you to witness a small part of that movement, to participate in your own protection, to receive safety that was written for you long before you asked. Ibn Arabi said that every spiritual event begins with a subtle sign, and waking at this hour is one of them. It means something is shifting, something is being aligned, something is being protected. You may not understand it now, but years later, you may look back and realize that night you woke in darkness was the night Allah saved you from something you never even knew was coming. This was not a disturbance. It was divine interception. Ibn Arabi taught that Allah does not awaken a servant in the last part of the night to keep them where they are. He awakens them to elevate them, to shift them, to transform them into a higher version of themselves. The hours between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. are not ordinary hours. They are hours in which destinies soften, hearts open, and the soul becomes ready to receive what it could not carry before. Being woken at this time is a sign that Allah is calling you into a different spiritual level, a level you may not feel prepared for, but one He knows you are ready to step into. Ibn Arabi said that spiritual elevation never begins with external change. It begins with the inner stirring, the subtle pull, the soft awakening of the heart toward Allah. And nothing awakens the heart more deeply than being called in the silence before dawn. This is the hour when the masks you wear during the day fall off, the hour when the ego weakens, the hour when the heart speaks truthfully, the hour when your soul remembers its origin and its purpose. It is in this sacred time that Allah reshapes your inner world. Perhaps you have been stuck in a cycle, Perhaps you have been carrying a wound that refuses to heal. Perhaps you have been waiting for clarity, direction, or change that never arrives. Perhaps you feel lost, disconnected, or distant from the person you want to be. Ibn Arabi said, "When Allah wakes you, He is awakening what is hidden inside you," meaning your strength, your courage, your sincerity, your purpose, your true self. Allah does not wake someone at this hour unless there is something inside them that He wants to grow, something He wants to purify, something He wants to elevate. Your awakening is the beginning of transformation. You may feel restless, emotional, heavy, or unexplainably pulled toward prayer, duha, or silence. This is the soul responding to a divine call to rise above your old patterns. Allah is calling you to become the person you were meant to be, not the one shaped by wounds, disappointments, fears, or worldly expectations, but the one shaped by divine guidance. This hour strips away everything false. It removes the dust from the heart. It breaks the illusions you live in. It brings your deepest truths to the surface. In daylight, you fight yourself. At 3 a.m., you meet yourself. Ibn Arabi wrote that the soul cannot ascend until it becomes empty. Empty of pretense, desire, ego, and illusion. And the early dawn is the hour when this emptiness becomes possible, when the heart finally whispers the prayers it was too proud or too distracted to admit during the day. When Allah wakes you, He is not asking you for perfection. He is not demanding long prayers or flawless recitation. He is simply inviting you to show up, to sit with Him, to breathe in His presence, to allow Him to rearrange your heart from the inside out. This is how transformation begins. Slowly, quietly, without noise or grand displays. Just a heart returning to its Creator, little by little, until it becomes a heart capable of carrying blessings it once prayed for but wasn't ready to receive. Ibn Arabi said that the highest spiritual stations are reached not through knowledge or effort alone, but through responding to the moments Allah chooses for you. And being woken before Fajr is one of those moments. This awakening is not simply about worship, it is about identity, about uncovering who you truly are beneath distraction and fear, about stepping into the spiritual maturity that was written for you long before you were born. It is Allah saying to you, "You are ready for more. Rise toward me, and I will open what was closed. I will lift what was weighing you down. I will transform what you could not change alone." Between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., you are not just waking, you are ascending. Your heart is being prepared. Your future is being shaped. Your purpose is being realigned. And your destiny is being rewritten in ways you cannot yet see. The person you will become starts with the awakening Allah gives you before dawn. This is not just a moment. It is your calling to rise. Your invitation to a higher level, your doorway into a new chapter of your life and spiritual journey. When Allah wakes you, He is raising you. And if you answer that call, your entire life begins to shift towards something greater, something purer, something written only for you. Now you know, waking between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. is not a coincidence. It is not an interruption. It is not your body acting on its own. It is Allah choosing you, calling you, protecting you, purifying you, preparing you for a destiny your eyes cannot see yet, but your soul already feels. The next time you wake in that silent hour, don't rush back to sleep. Pause it, breathe, listen, because that moment is not happening to you. It is happening for you. If this message touched your heart, then don't keep it to yourself. Someone else may be waking at 3 a.m. and not understand why. Like the video, share it, and subscribe for more powerful guidance. Comment below. I answer the call. May Allah make your nights a doorway to His mercy, and your awakenings a sign that He has never left you for a single heartbeat.